I think that working at the rescue squad attracts people who are interested in learning and are willing to make commitments. A lot of the people who work here are full-time students, have full-time jobs. Actually, my father volunteers here, and ever since I was about 2 or 3, he would sometimes take me to the station, and I'd just sort of get babysat, like, in this area. So I've always been aware of it.
I've been with the squad about 1.5 years now. A woman had written a letter commending me on my job, helping her out of a tight situation in which she had a total heart blockage and was unconscious in her bathroom. And thinking in terms of my training here and what I learned in EMT class, I knew, transport as quickly as possible, get her to a hospital. So last week we received this letter that she is actually improving and has almost completely healed, and so great to hear. And the words of commendation that she had for me really meant a lot. It's tough at first. Your first ambulance ride, your heart beats really fast and you're really excited to go, and then you realize, like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do anything. It becomes every day, you learn something and you become more confident in what you do.
Okay, Barbara, we have a call. Let's go.
Call down 118 Livingston Street.
I was elderly when I came here in my late 40s, and I've always wanted to do something with medicine, so this is it. I mean, it gets in your blood. I love it. I love to drive the ambulance. I love to take care of people, and we have a great group here. You can put the lights on. My first passion is driving. I love driving the ambulance. It's my passion. I mean, what can I say? When I came here first, I told my night crew officer then, one day I'm going to drive this ambulance, and he laughed at me. Huh? He's not laughing anymore.
I think we do a great job getting out there and letting people know that this is a great opportunity, and that you do have the time, and if you have a little bit of time to devote here, you'll reap all these benefits just from that. So I think, yeah, it is difficult, but I think we do a good job in getting members and retaining those members, and allowing for them to spend time here and grow and stay around for a while.
Coming up, baseball celebrates an important moment for civil rights. We look back at Jackie Robinson's first swing in 1947 and his legacy both on and off the field.
After more than a decade, the buzzer sounds on Coach Jeff Jones' era at American University. We've got to look at what's in store for the Eagles next season when a new coach takes to the hardwood. A special sports edition of District Wire News starts now. Good evening. I'm Gennaro Ferrone.
And I'm Rachel Rude. Today, Major League Baseball celebrates Jackie Robinson Day. It's the 66th year since the Brooklyn Dodgers legend became the first black player to play in the major leagues. Henry Caroli has more.
He wore the number 42, a number that would become synonymous with his name. On April 15, 1947, a young Jackie Robinson from Pasadena, California, stepped onto the field for the Brooklyn Dodgers and became the first African American to play Major League Baseball. He shattered baseball's color line, ending years of segregation in the sport. The Dodgers' decision to pluck Robinson from the Negro Leagues did not go down well with his new teammates.
He was a guy that took a lot. A lot of people were not happy. A lot of the teammates were not happy that they were going to have to play with a black baseball player. Leo DeRocher, the manager of the Dodgers, said, look, we're going to do this. I'm the one that sets the lineup. And frankly, he's going to make all of us richer people.
Robinson's appearance that day would prove a poignant moment, not only for the sport, but for the nation's civil rights movement. But as one expert says, Robinson may have been a victim of circumstance, not design.
I don't know if there was an intentional role, and I think that's probably why they selected him. They did not want somebody who was too outspoken. They wanted somebody who was willing to endure some of the indignities at that time, which there were going to be, and there were plenty.
Whether he was an accidental hero or not, Robinson's legendary status appears unquestionable. Today, baseball commemorates Jackie Robinson Day, 66 years after the player made his Major League debut. First introduced in 2004, Robinson's legacy is remembered right on the heels of the release of 42, the new film about the player's life. At the Washington Nationals game against the Atlanta Braves on Saturday, the Nats welcomed members of the Jackie Robinson Foundation. The non-profit organization, founded by Robinson's wife Rachel, awards scholarships to promising black students.
The beauty of the Jackie Robinson story is the story of America. Jackie Robinson's integration of baseball in 1947 was just the beginning of larger movements of integration in the United States.
Tonight, MLB teams will remember Robinson by performing various ceremonies. The Dodgers, now based in LA, will celebrate the day with its players all donning the 42 jersey. Henry Corrali, District Y News, Washington, D.C.
American University men's basketball coach Jeff Jones is leaving after 13 years at AU. Chris Eldob is live in the studio with more. Chris?
Coach Jeff Jones joined the Eagle as the program was making its way to the Patriot League. After 2 trips to the NCAA tournament, AU Athletics is searching for its next head coach. American University is looking for a new men's basketball head coach. Jeff Jones is leaving to coach Old Dominion University after 13 years at the helm of AU. Coach Jones came to AU as the program was making its transition to the Patriot League. And since then, he's led the Eagles to 2 NCAA tournament appearances.
In his 13 years, going to 2 NCAA tournaments was enormous for the university as a whole. But really, he created a program that's really well respected around the country.
Coach Jones' experience began at the University of Virginia, where he played and later coached. And with that, he brought a wealth of experience in recruiting in the DMV area.
We reported a few days ago, one of their current recruits had asked out of his letter of intent from AU. You know, the DMV area is a really big hotbed for basketball, and you obviously want to get someone who knows how to recruit the area.
Dr. William Walker, AU's new athletic director, begins later this week. Finding a new coach will be his first order of business as the school's new AD.
There are some really wonderful coaches out there who are very interested in American. And I think that speaks to Jeff and the work he's done.
American University has hired the Parker Executive Search Firm to spearhead the search for the next head coach. That firm found Keith Gill, AU's former athletic director, and Dr. Walker. AU Athletics say they should announce who the next head coach is by the first week of May. Josh Pawnell is joining us in the studio. Josh is the founder and editor-in-chief of National Recruiting Spotlight, a site dedicated to college basketball recruiting. Josh, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Chris.
Josh, what were your initial reactions when you heard that Coach Jones was leaving?
Well, obviously, I was a little surprised after he's been here for 13 years. You know, typically, when a coach is going to leave, it's going to be after they kind of reach their peak at the previous school. And after he made those 2 NCAA tournament appearances with AU, he stayed for a few years. So certainly it came as a bit of a shock.
Can you talk about what this means for recruiting, especially in the DMV area?
Yeah, well, hopefully it means that we do better at the DMV recruiting-wise. That was one of the biggest criticisms leveled at Coach Jones. He wasn't a great recruiter, didn't bring in that much talent, especially local talent. A lot of our best players have been from kids outside of this area. And you know, it was more of an in-game coach, a developmental coach. So hopefully those recruiting ties will improve.
The Eagles finished with their worst win total since the 2000-2001 season. What's ahead next season for the Eagles?
Unfortunately, it's not looking too good. You know, we only have one rising senior, Tony Roblicki. We have a lot of young talent, but the next coach, whoever it is, they're going to have to develop their own system, bring in their own coaching staff, especially with all those young guys. It's going to be a tough challenge next year.
In an interview with the Eagle, Coach Jones recently gave his support for longtime assistant Kieran Donahue. What do you think about Coach Donahue as the next head coach for the Eagles?
It would definitely make the transition smoother, but I don't think he would make the best replacement. Coach Donahue, in my opinion, would just bring a little kind of more of the same. He's been with Coach Jones, ever since Coach Donahue started coaching back at Virginia, and hopefully we can get someone maybe a little younger and up and comer, and someone with strong recruiting ties to the DMV area.
AU's hired a new women's soccer coach, a new athletic director, and now is looking for a new men's basketball coach. Can you talk about, the changing landscape in AU athletics?
Well, yeah, Dr. William Walker, he definitely has a huge opportunity to make his own stamp on the department. Not only coaching-wise will he be able to hire new coaches, but just in the staff department itself, associate athletic directors, assistant athletic directors leaving. So he has a huge opportunity to make his own stamp on the athletic department.
And you covered Dr. Walker for the Eagle. What were your initial impressions?
He's a really nice and opening guy. It seems like he really cares about making a good connection to the student body. It's clear that he cares not only about the varsity sports, but also about club sports, intramural sports, and he definitely placed an emphasis on trying to improve those programs as well.
Josh Ponnell, founder and editor-in-chief of the National Recruiting Spotlight. Thanks for joining us. Back to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Chris, and thanks for joining us in the studio today.
The New York Yankees beat the Baltimore Orioles in a close game Sunday night. The final score was 3-0. Hiroki Kuroda stood out as the star player on the Yankees. The two teams were scoreless for 4 innings, but the Yankees eventually pulled ahead. The victory secures the Yankees at second place in the AL East.
A man shot and killed himself at an NRA-sponsored NASCAR race Saturday. Fort Worth police say the man shot himself in the head in the infield of the Texas Motor Speedway late into the race at the NRA 500. The race has come under criticism earlier in the week when Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy called on the Fox network to pull the broadcast from its schedule, saying in a letter to NASCAR CEO that by having the gun advocacy group as a sponsor, they were inserting themselves into the gun control debate. NASCAR released a statement following Saturday's incident addressing the NRA sponsorship, saying, quote, "This situation has made it clear that we need to take a closer look at our approval process moving forward, as current circumstances need to be factored in when making decisions."
No Kobe, no Nash, no problem. The Los Angeles Lakers beat the San Antonio Spurs 91-86. A key win for the Lakers with a playoff spot still hanging in the balance. This was the first game the Lakers played since Kobe Bryant blew out his Achilles on Friday. Bryant will watch from the sidelines when his teammates try to secure the final playoff spot in the Western Conference on Friday against Houston.
The New York Knicks have secured the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference after beating Indiana 90-80. This means Knicks superstar Carmelo Anthony can sit out the final 2 games to rest his sore left shoulder. Anthony has carried the team on that sore shoulder for the last month, leading the team in scoring every game in April.
Starting pitcher Roy Halladay led the Philadelphia Phillies past the Miami Marlins on his way to winning his 200th career game. Halladay pitched 8 innings, gave up only 1 run for a 2-1 victory. Halladay lowered his earned run average from about 15 down to about 7 after facing some of the worst offense the league has to offer.
Washington Nationals second baseman Denny Espinosa is back on the field after being hit by a pitch in Sunday's game. Espinosa left the game early for the hospital after being hit in the hand. Initially, he stayed in the game, but the team played it safe and took him out a little while later. Results from an MRI showed no serious damage.
And Espinosa isn't the only Nats player out. Catcher Wilson Ramos is on the 15-day disabled list after injuring his hamstring during the game against Atlanta on Saturday. The Nationals say it's just a strain. However, they decided to replace the catcher with Jonathan Solano to give Ramos a break.
Coming up, we'll find out who comes out on top in the most prestigious race in the world. We'll give you the details on the Boston Marathon.
And AU's crew team is having trouble staying afloat. Stick around to see what they have to say.